Welcome everyone! Here is the ultimate beginner's guide to Origins Easter egg Black Ops 2 Zombies. Black Ops 3 has the same part locations, same steps. If playing on custom games or local, you see a difficulty option that must be set to original. Starting off in the spawn room, we will always have this wooden table, and on it will be a brain that's in this green jar. I want you to pick this up. This is for the Maxis drone. It is required for the Easter egg. You can hold multiple parts at once, and you want to pick it up. To the right, you will have this wallby, and to the left is this shovel. I want you to pick up the shovel. It's needed for the ice stuff. If this shovel is taken, let's say you're playing on co-op, then if you just head up the staircase, below the generator free zone is another shovel location, and you can pick it up here. If both shovels are taken, there are two other shovels, but they are very far away from the spawn room. In spawn, we have generator 1. This is the generator structure, and if we go to the middle of it, we have an interact option. And when I hold the interact button, this will start the generator activation. On round 1 only, we can click release the R3 button to do a melee, and this will one-shot the night zombies. The night zombies only offer will give you 10 points, so you don't want to shoot them if you can. When the generator is online, the area where you're in has power, and in this case, the Quick Revive perk is available to buy. Instead of dying, with Quick Revive on solo, you're down, and on co-op, it will let you revive your teammates faster. For round 1, the most point-effective way to eliminate the zombies is I'm just going to click release the R3 button. And so let's just end off the round here. With Quick Revive perk and all perks around the map, if you long press the circle button on PlayStation, just whatever button used to prone, when you prone next to a perk, you can see I just got 25 free points. So that's just worth doing. If you are playing solo in non-custom games, on round 2, as long as this generator is online, in the chest you will see double points. So let's just go in and let's pick up the double points. For round 2, I'm going to shoot the zombies 8 times in the body, and then I'll just melee them afterwards. And that's just the most point-effective way to eliminate the zombies. We will need a lot of points in Origins. If one zombie is in front and one is behind, line it up so your pistol will hit both zombies at the same time, and that will just give you collateral damage. You'll gain extra points. If you run out of ammo, which is a high chance you will, when meleeing the zombies, I have insta-kill, but if you don't, you will have to do a 2-hit melee, and so always hit the melee button and immediately walk backwards. So this just avoids you getting windmilled by the zombies and downing. Now let's leave the spawn room. We have a sign for generator 3, and to the right a sign for generator 2. I want you to open up the door for generator 2. When running across, you will see these dig sites. I will return to this at the end of the round. We have these robots that also stomp as well. So open up this door, and am I getting no, okay, I'm fine. We have a tank station here in generator 2, and let's just head into the tank station. And inside of here is a MP40 wallby. On Black Ops 3 it's a VMP. Just buy the weapon. The most point-effective way to eliminate the zombies from here on out is we're just going to shoot them in the head. Alternatively, you can shoot the zombie twice in the body with the MP40 and then do a melee, but it's very risky. You might down. So, what was I talking about with the robot? I mumbled a little bit, and what's going on with the dig sites? Well, if I press the touchpad to open up the menu, we see staff parts. The first staff part for both wind staff and ice staff will be in generator 2 and 3 area. So one part in either gen 2 or 3. And so the robot that comes across, we can enter its foot, but only if the foot is lit up. You'll see that shortly, and it wasn't lit up in gen 2, so I wasn't able to use it. Also, look at the weather. Only when it is snowing, and while it is snowing, we can use the dig sites. And while it's snowing and we dig up the dig sites, we have a chance to get an ice staff part.
I will fight on.
If you don't get the part, you will either get a free weapon or a drop. So it is RNG. So I did not get the part in that mound. So what I will do is I will just head to the end of generator 2. I'm also going to try and get in that robot as well. And we have another dig site. And this one gives me the ice staff part. We want to get the first staff part on round 3, ideally for ice. Or 3 or 4. So let's see here. Okay, I can enter that robot. So I'm going to head into the tank station. And I'm going to head upstairs to the open plan area. And look at the robot. The left foot has no lights under it, so we can't enter that foot. This right robot has a bunch of yellow circle LEDs. That means with a bullet weapon, if I shoot that foot, I can enter the foot. And then in here, we will have a wind staff part. So there are 3 parts for all staffs. And we can, in generator 2 or 3, get that ice staff part, get that wind staff part. We will be getting all ice staff parts at the same time for all staffs. You need to dynamically play your match depending on which robots you see, which parts you get when. Next, we have a couple of extra stuff inside of the tank station. First of all, we see the staff parts and there's a disc. So there are 4 discs for 4 parts and then another disc for the excavation site. The ice staff disc location is in the tank station. And I'll walk to each part one by one. So entering the tank station on this wooden table, the part might be here. So it might be here. The second part location is to the right of the mystery box on this shelf. This might be here. And then the final part location is to the right of the MP40 or whatever wallby you see. If you look to the right on this shelf, there is the disc. And let's pick it up.
This is useless without
also, to the left of this shelf is another table. On this table are going to be a bunch of rocks. I want you to hold the interact button to pick up the rock. The button you press is the same one you use to repair the barrier. It won't prompt you, but at bottom left, I now have a rock. We also have a zombie shield. There are 3 parts in total and 3 part locations. The first part location is where the generator is. If I keep on running forwards, we see the No Man's Land sign to the left, and to the right we have a trench that keeps on going. At the end of this trench, on this wheelbarrow, the first zombie shield part might be here. The second location is back inside of the tank station. If we head into the tank station, we then head to the upstairs open view area. To the right of this pipe, the zombie shield part might be here. It is for me, and I'll pick it up. The third location is between generator 2 and spawn. So I'm just heading to the left of tank station. I'm returning to the spawn room, and you will see this sheltered trench, so it has a roof. And to the left here, we will have a wheelbarrow. And next to this wheelbarrow, the zombie shield part may spawn in here. If you did not get the ice staff parts in generator 2, we want to return to the spawn room. So I'll return to the spawn room like this. And then, while it is snowing, we want the round to stay active. And we're just going to head into generator 3. And then there will be more dig sites. And in these dig sites, you may get, or you will get, it's RNG based, you may get the ice staff part dug up here. Also, if a robot comes across and the foot in generator 2 is not lit up, then the foot will be available in generator 3, and you'd enter that foot to get the wind staff part. All I will do is I'm going to return back to the spawn room. I'm going to end the round as well. So I'll just end the round, and let's advance onwards. We will return to generator 3. However, right now, it is not necessary to do so. There is around 50 to 40% chance it will snow on round 4. If it snows on round 4, we could technically build the ice staff on round 4, get all the parts. However, this tutorial will factor in that won't happen for you, because we need a lot of RNG. I'm just assuming that won't happen. So instead, we're actually going to build the lightning star first, and that is coming up shortly. So past the generator 2 structure, we have the no man's land sign, and let's head to the left, and let's go into the workshop. This is the center building, and on the ground floor only, you have generator 2, and you have quick access to generator 3. So behind this door is Gen 3, and you don't need to head back into spawn to get into the Gen 3 area. However, if we head up the staircase, which is the opposite side of the Gen 3 door, up the staircase, this will bring us to no man's land. And if I just walk forwards and open up this door, we have no man's land right here. So running up this wooden, slope, this is no man's land. This is the central hub of Origins. It's a large open space area. However, it's very easy to navigate once you understand the layout. No man's land is just a massive rectangle. So think of a massive rectangle if you ever get lost. You also have to the right these large endless trenches. Those bring you back to generator 2 and 3, and you should ignore them. In no man's land, this is where another robot steps across, and this is for the second Windstaff part. Also, the dig sites in no man's land, they will get us the second iStar part as well. I will flip the round. If it's round 4 and you have the opportunity, I will try and get the second iStar part now, but just to factor in the RNG, and we're going to assume you're not getting the best RNG, I'll flip the round. This MP40 wall buy is going to anchor us, so I'm going to use this for normalized movement. So where this MP40 wall buy is, we're going to head to the left. So just head to the left here. By the way, if these robots step on you and you don't enter them, so they don't have lights and they just tread on you, you will down or die. Continuing onwards here, we will see to the right this generator 4 and this Juggernaut perk in the distance. Let's head to this one and let's turn on generator 4. It is mid-round. Because it's mid-round, I must shoot everything on sight. I'm also doing a trick where I'm walking, and then at high-risk areas, I start sprinting. And if I need to, I will exit the generator. Maybe there's too many zombies on it. I can leave the generator. It slowly deactivates, and as long as I'm not off the generator for too long, it won't completely deactivate, and we can stay on it. So now generator 4 is active, and we have the Juggernaut perk. With Juggernaut, instead of downing after 2 hits, you're down after 5. It's very risky to get this perk in the middle of the round. So what you want to do is, in my case, I'm just slowly leading the zombies, and when they're quite far away, as it's a one-way, I can then run, get the Juggernaut perk, and I'll be safe. If zombies are in this area, do not try and get Juggernaut, as you might down or die, as that one way means you might be trapped. I will go in and just end off the round here. There we go. And let's check. So the robot is coming to the left. So the second part locations for Wind and Ice are in no man's land. The first part is in generator 2 and 3. The third and final part is in the church. You see the church to the left? We will head there soon. But for now, what I will do instead is I want to get the Staminup perk, and I need ammo for my MP40. So what I'm going to do is, remember this is one big rectangle, so I'm on the right side of the rectangle, and I'm just going to run across back to that MP40 wall buy. So I'll just run across here, and I want to buy more ammo like this. So I'm back to where this MP40 wall buy is. To the left at the end was the Juggernaut perk and Gen 4. To the right of the MP40 wall buy, if I just run across here, there is a door I need to buy. However, this is going to bring me to generator station 5. So I'll open up this degree. What we want to do is we want to turn on generator 5. In total, there are 6 generators. You can see below my face cam, the 6 captures. When all 6 generators are online, we will have Pack-a-Punch turned on and used, though we won't be using Pack-a-Punch for quite a while. There is a new drop in Origins, which is this zombie blood. What zombie blood does is it means the zombies will not target you.
Foul stench
So I'll turn on
floats
generator 5. I won't shoot the zombies as I'm in zombie blood and I'm not under threat. But if the zombies were coming after me, I would shoot them. And once generator 5 is online, we can get the Staminup perk. Staminup is a must-buy perk. We are going to use it, number one, to traverse around the map quicker. It's a very large map. But second, we can use it to help us get the lightning staff parts quicker. So the first staff we will fully get at once is the lightning staff. And we can use Staminup to get two at once. But first, I see a robot coming through no man's land. I can look and see the robot foot. So the right foot doesn't have lights. The left foot has those rings of yellow lights. So I will just enter that one shortly. So let's just enter this one now. There we go. And I shoot it with a bullet weapon. That means you cannot shoot it with a ray gun Mark II, or Pack-a-Punch Mauser. Or what? It must be a bullet weapon. And I'll get the second wind staff. And I'll leave. How we play Origins is we need to dynamically get those parts. If the robot is, we need to get into a robot and we're doing something else, I might just interrupt what I'm doing and enter the robot like I just did there.
You have to help me.
We are on round 7. So, next round is a Panzer that will spawn in.
Your numbers do not intimidate me.
It is possible to get the lightning staff on round 6 or even round 7. However, I don't have the most amount of points. I probably won't get that. And then what that means is we're going to have to probably eliminate the Panzer without a staff. Regardless of my success, I will, eliminate the round 8 Panzer without a staff just to show it off. But first, we need to get 2 discs. So if I look at my discs, I want to get a wind staff disc and a lightning staff disc. Both can be gotten right now. So let's get the wind staff disc. Here are all the part locations. The first location to the right of Staminup. The disc might be on this side right here. The second part location is to the left of Staminup. On these boxes, the disc might be right here. And there it is. I'll pick it up. The third disc location is in the lightning tunnel. So I'll head down the lightning tunnel. And the disc, if it's not on those other places, it'll be on this table right here. Let's now get... It's not good. Let's now get the lightning disc. We were in Gen 5, Staminup earlier. Now I'm going to head back to the Juggernaut area. So it's just the other side of this this rectangle. And that's where Gen 4 and the Juggernaut is. So I'm just going to continue running down here. And there are 3 part locations for the lightning disc. The first location, to the left of the Juggernaut perk, we have this table. On the table, the disc might be here. The second location, to the right of Juggernaut, we have this wheelbarrow. And if I just look on the side of this wheelbarrow, the lightning disc might be here. It is for me, so I'll pick up the part shortly. So I'll just pick this one up now. The third location is... I'll get this later. Third location is if I just walk a little back and to my left, we have the Windstaff Tunnel. Just a little bit further back and to the left. And then inside of the wind tunnel here, at the very bottom of the tunnel, so I'll just run down the deep level tunnel. To the right here, where this lantern is, the lightning disc might be right here. So you want to pick this one up. It's very risky being down these tunnels because you might not be able to pass the zombies. This is a very tight area. But in my case, I was okay. So I'll pick up the lightning disc now. We have the Juggernaut perk. And then to the left, we have the church. And we also have to the left, the other side of the rectangle. So earlier, we were on that side of the rectangle, the right side. Now, if we look to the left side, we have access to the church. And of course, if you're looking the other side, it will be to the right. But it's just going to be this side here. And we have the church. And we have, this path as well. And if I keep on running down this path, if you just look to the side where the church is, eventually, you will see a generator 6 sign and debris, which we can open, and a staircase to go up. These dig sites in Generator 6 and in the church area, those will help us get the third and final Ice Staff part. Also, a robot will step here and in the other side of the church. And that robot will get us the final Wind Staff part. And we will dynamically, play, when that robot comes, we'll go and get it. Let's continue down the path of the Gen 6. And if we look to the right, on the basement of the church, we see a tank. We will use the tank to get all the lightning staff parts. So we just head to the other side of the tank, and then we jump up and turn it on. Once the tank is on, zombies that are in front of the tank will get crushed by the tank. Also, zombies behind will start sprinting faster. When they jump on the tank, they will hit you very quickly. They'll just windmill you. So what I like to do is when the tank is running, I like to leave the tank. Why? Well, the zombies, they will sprint slower. And if I'm on the tank, they'll sprint faster. I like to follow right behind the tank. The tank can crush you if you're in front of it. The reason I do this is just so the zombies are just slower behind me. Where this line is, that's when I like to start sprinting and actually get on the tank itself. I'll just get on the tank. There is a trick with the mud, so I have to show that shortly. We want to get on this platform. So just look to the right, and where the edge of this railing is, so this railing comes off, I just do a sprint and jump. That gets me on that platform. And then I'll run across, and I will see the lightning staff part and get it. If that happens too quickly, I'm getting 2 more parts, and I will have more time to explain it. If you drop down here, this brings you to Generator 3. However, if we run up the staircase, and then go back down, this brings us to Generator 2. So we'll head to the left, and we want to head to Generator Station 2.
And I will free you.
In Generator 2, we have the tank station. And inside of the tank station, on the other side, that's where the tank is. Yes, the tank will be right here. Before we head on the tank again, let me discuss the mud. This deep level mud will make you move slower. On Black Ops 2 only, a trick to move faster in the mud is I want you to spam the jump button. So just bunny hop. So right after you land, you're just pressing the jump button. Another thing too is just do a short sprint and then start jumping. And if you have Staminup, you'll get a little bit more momentum. This is not possible in Black Ops 3. If you do this in Black Ops 2, this is just going to help us go through the mud a little bit faster and help us deal with the zombies. So we're going to go into the tank, and hopefully, if we do a good job, we'll be able to get 2 staff parts at once for the lightning staff. I'm going to have to eliminate this zombie because it's on the tank. There's this massive gap here, so I can't disembark from the tank just yet. So we're going to have 2 more parts. The first part is going to be on this little ledge. Last time, we had this railing. That's what I was referring to earlier. And we jumped off the side of this railing, facing right. This time, we're going to jump and then go slightly forwards to go on top of the railing. And we're just going to, be forwards and then slightly to the left, like this. And then we'll do a sprint and jump to get on this platform. And then we'll quickly get this part. We're then going to run around the edge of that platform. We just jump and then spam jump. Do a little sprint and then just spam jump again. And then we can get on this platform. There is this ridge, which means if you mess up, I'll explain what happens if you mess up. But if you don't mess up, we're just going to head to the edge of this railing, face right, and sprint and jump onto this slope. And then we can get the a lightning staff final part just like that. I'm going to check the robot. Okay, it's not here. If you mess up, you weren't able to get on this railing, and the tank leaves without you, all you'd have to do is just use the tank another 2 times. So use it, head to the Gen 2, and then from Gen 2, you'd be able to run it again and get the lightning staff part. So I actually have enough points to build the lightning staff right now, which is great. I could use it for the Panzer upcoming and destroy it. What happens if you don't have enough points? Well, let me show you. So I would not recommend ending the round just yet. We want to have anti-Panzer mechanism, which is in the church. We have this Semtex will buy, and I want you to buy it. And I'll just end the round like this. We want to leave this church area. Instead, we want to head to the Generator 4 area instead. And we will be able to deal with the Panzer better here. I'm going to showcase the Panzer, which means I might do some little dodgy stuff that I would not recommend doing. It's just to showcase the Panzer. So when the round starts, we want to leave generator 4, and we just want to start running through this mud site and heading back to that MP40 wall bite in the center. So here's the Panzer, here he comes. So I'm just going to start running across to the MP40 area. To deal with the Panzer, you just want to chuck Semtexes. You want to predict where he's going to come. So I'm just chucking them kind of near him, and some will hit him. The Panzer has multiple attacks. The first is the grapple hook. I'm going to try and avoid getting grapple hooked. The way I would do this is keep your distance, number 1. And then number 2, just move to left and right as you're shooting. And if you're far away, the grapple hook will miss most of the time. If you're close, you know, this aim out sight movement isn't that great, so he might hit you. So let me just eliminate the zombies in the front so I can get grappled hooked, so I can show you what to do. So let's try and get grapple hooked. When you grapple hook, you must shoot the right arm. You see that right arm with the red on it? You just shoot that, and then that will unhook you. If you don't shoot the arm, you're just gonna down. So the second attack he has is if you get too close, he will whip out a flamethrower. If that flamethrower hits you for too long, very bad things will happen. Also, so I've showcased the Panzer. If the Panzer gets crushed by the robot, he will be stuck under the ground for a little bit. Most of the time, that will not happen. It's very hard to time that, but that will deal with a lot of damage to the Panzer. The way I deal with the Panzer is I'm just keeping my distance. I chuck those Semtexes, and I'm just shooting the Panzer in his head. You know that white, like, lit up area? That's why I'm shooting him. So he will, you know, die eventually. Once the Panzer is eliminated, he will drop a fire staff part. So we'll just pick this one up. There we go. The unfortunate thing about Origins is if you slightly damage the zombie, it will eventually despawn. If I run too far away, the zombie will despawn. So that's not ideal. We will now get the lightning staff itself. In order to do this, we have 2 things to do. First of all, we need to get a black disc. There are 3 locations for the black disc. The first location, I'm returning back to that center, MP40 wall buy. I actually have to buy ammo because the round's changing. To the left of the wall buy, we see the excavation site sign. To the left of the excavation site sign, we might have the black disc hidden right here. And there it is for me. The second location is where the MP40 wall buy is. If I run right past it, so I'm running forwards, and I'm looking towards the church, and I'm running towards the church, and then to the left, right here, might be the black disc. So just look to the left, you know, of the church, and the disc might be there. The third disc location is in the excavation site itself. However, I need to survive, so I might have to eliminate a bit more zombies in order to get there. Another robot's coming, so I just need to plan this one out. I'll go there shortly. So the third black disc location is in the excavation site itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to head towards the excavation site. So remember that excavation site from earlier, just to the left of the MP40 wall buy. So we'll just head up to the excavation site like this, and then to the right is a wheelbarrow, and then on this wheelbarrow the final the disc location might be there. Now regardless, when we have the disc, I want you to head downstairs. This will bring us to the excavation site underground area. The gramophone will either be I'm gonna have to clear out this round first because this is very dodgy. When you are here, just keep in mind that zombies can come from the right and left, but you will either see to the left of the table the gramophone like this, or it'll be to the right. So I will get the gramophone up to the left like this, and then I want to place it on the wooden table. What this will do is it will slowly start opening up the main area of the excavation site. We will head there shortly to build the lightning staff, but we do need to get one more piece for the lightning staff itself. So once the song finishes playing, we will have the prompt to pick up the gramophone. And let's pick it up. Then we will leave the excavation site. So we'll just leave it. And then here is Pack-a-Punch. Once all 6 generators are online, Pack-a-Punch will be available. Oh, we need to head. We're gonna head to Gen 6 church area because the robot is here for the wind staff. So I'm looking. I see it's on the left side. So the right side would be this side of the church. I'm just gonna head to where right the tank is. I'll head upstairs. And okay, I made it in time. There we go. So again, this is just part of the dynamic play with Origins. It was on the left side, so I had to run to the left side of the church. We will return here later, and I'll do a slower walkthrough. So I did go quite quickly there, but it was just to the right of the tank. There's an upstairs part, and then there's just this little rectangle mound where the robot is. Let's return back to business. So what I was doing is I was going to the Gen 5 Staminup area. So I'm heading from the church. However, remember this no man's land is a large rectangle. The MP40 is here. So if you are, I'll just run towards it. So if you're facing that MP40 itself, it's just to the right of the MP40. That's where we're heading. So let's just go this way. And we want to head into the lightning tunnel. When building these staffs for the first time, you need to head into the correct tunnel for the correct staff. So head into the lightning tunnel and go into the basement. And then I'll put the gramophone down. The gramophone will only place if you got the lightning staff disc, or the disc for the staff in question. When we are upgrading the staffs, the excellent news is that you can head into any tunnel you want. But when building for the first time, you do need to head into the correct location. This is because what will happen is the pedestal with the lightning staff will have a staff will raise, and you'll be able to get a crystal. So I'll get the crystal for the lightning staff like this. I activated the teleporter immediately after entering. You just hold the prompt to activate teleporter here. You can do it at any time, but I'll use the teleporter to leave the crazy place, which is where I was just in, and we are now back here. So I'm going to head out of the tunnel. I hear a... Okay. Alright. I was hearing a robot's foot. I was concerned I might be trod on, but we're just going to return back to that MP40 wall buy, and we're actually going to head back into the excavation site itself. So to the left, back into that excavation site like this, and we can now craft the lightning staff for real. So again, you could have done this on round 7, even round 6 if you were very dedicated, but for this guide I am doing some things slightly differently, as I'm explaining a bunch, and that just changes how I play. So when I go to the very bottom of the excavation site like this, we see the purple, that's for the lightning staff. So I'll just craft the lightning staff like this. And then, which weapon do we swap? Well, I'm going to swap out my MP40 and get the lightning staff instead. I'm keeping the starting pistol Mauser. Why? The Mauser, when Pack-a-Punched, becomes a mini ray gun Mark II. I will not Pack-a-Punch it just yet, as there's a bunch of steps where if the pistol's Pack-a-Punch, we can't actually do those steps. So we're just going to leave it unpack-a-punch for quite a while. The lightning staff and all staffs, just click release it once, and it will shoot out its attack. Its attack is very good against panzers and zombies. Let's now upgrade the lightning staff. So I will leave the excavation site, and then what I like to do is I look at the Pack-a-Punch, and then I just go to the left of Pack-a-Punch, and I turn left again. And a good note, if you're heading to Gen 4 or 5, you just want to make sure there is a right turn. If there's a right turn, you're going the right way. If there is no right turn, that means you're heading towards the church and you're using the wrong exit. So we're going to head left from the excavation site, we're going to turn left again, and we're going to return to the lightning tunnel. We will start the lightning staff upgrade now. So the first step is we will head into any tunnel. We will use the lightning staff tunnel, as this is actually just the quickest, closest to the excavation site. And how this will work each staff has a puzzle. See, puzzle here, puzzle there, buy stuff, puzzle somewhere else. In the pinned comment, I will have timestamps to where the puzzle, like, you can skip to where I'll have a puzzle solving on screen. So I'll first show you what to do, and I'll have the solution on screen. We have 7 triangles at the bottom. We want to shoot those 7 triangles only. We will avoid the top triangles. We shoot them in a certain order. So, let's begin. I will shoot triangle 1, triangle 3, triangle 6.
Something has changed.
Then, once this lightning effect goes away, I'll shoot triangle 3, triangle 5, triangle 7. Then, I'm going to shoot triangle 2, triangle 4, triangle 6. And then we should hear this noise. Wait for it. Any second now. When you hear that noise, you did a good job. If you mess up the shooting, if I just do some random shooting, oh, it won't let me. But basically, if you mess up the shooting, just continue shooting over and over. So let's say I shoot triangle 3, it will stay electrocuted. And so you would just have to shoot another triangle to unelectrocute it. When you play, you will understand it. I can't do it now. I've already done the step. We will now leave the lightning staff area. And we're going to head to the second part of the upgrade. This upgrade is going to involve switching 7 electrical panels. So let's get to work. I will first show you where all panels are, how to switch them, and you can basically follow along in your playthrough. And then I'll just have the solution up at the end, just in text. However, my text annotations might not be fully understandable, so I'd highly recommend checking out the walkthrough. So the MP40 central wall by us here, and then the opposite side, we're going to run back down into the workshop, into this building, and we want to return to the spawn room. We can use either generator 3 or 2 to return to spawn. So I'll use generator 2 here, and I'm just running a little bit quicker, but just keep in mind that this is just a single one-way. Even when it looks like there are 2 paths, they both lead. So you can see here the spawn. In spawn, to the right of quick revive, we have these electrical panels. You see the direction of the panel is currently facing right. And we are going to hold the interact button to change its direction. So we'll hold interact until the panel turns left. So the panel should be facing to the left in spawn. Then we're going to follow me. So we're going to head to generator station 2. So head to generator 2 like this. And then I want you to head into the tank station itself. So we see the tank station. We'll head into the tank station. And to the right of the wall by, on the other side, we will see another electrical panel. And this one, I want it to be facing down.
Our actions have consequence.
Then I'll do a 180.
Found the way to bridge the void.
And I'm going to return back to the no man's land itself. So I'll return back into no man's land.
My first loyalty is with the motherland. That
I
is
should
my
note
true
I'm
mission.
doing this at the end of the round. While you can do this mid-round, please leave a zombie at the end of the round if you can, as you don't want to advance the rounds too much, as other steps will become harder the higher the round it is. We are back to that MP40 wall by, and then we're just going to turn to the right, and we're going to head to generator 5. This is the Staminup area. This is the lightning tunnel. And to the opposite side of Staminup, to the left, is another electrical fuse box. This one, I want you to make it face down. Then, we will head to the right of Staminup, and we see the church here. We're just going to run across the right hand side. We won't head to the church just yet. However, we're just running across this right side. And then to the left, you will see another electrical fuse box. And this one, I want you to make it face up. Then, we're going to carry on forwards. So we're going to skip the church. We'll just run past. We will then see the Juggernaut perk, like this. And we want to, when we see Juggernaut, turn left. Then, we're going to run forwards. And we're going to look for the right turn that becomes available. And behind the Juggernaut, we have the wind tunnel. And to the right of the wind tunnel, we have another electric fuse box. And this one in question, this one we want to face up. So it's now facing up. Then we are now going to head to the church itself. So I'm going to start running towards the church. And we have 2 more electric fuse boxes. You might notice I'm doing this weird... I'm not running in a straight line. I'm like kind of like doing this swing with my character. That is a strafe jump. It allows me to move faster. I'll teach it later on. In the basement of the church, we will head to the other side of the tank. And then to the right, we see the fuse box. And I want you to make this face right.
Just what have we achieved?
Then finally, we are going to go past the tank. Remember earlier I rushed up these stairs? They were to the right of the tank. And so we'll head up to the staircase. This brings us to the main church area. We see another wall by. We see a barrier and some fire. And to the right, hidden in the shadows, is another fuse box. And this one, I want you to face up. Once you hear that sound, all fuse boxes have been changed correctly. Step 2 only gives you a sound of completion if the step 1 puzzle was done as well. Then we're going to head to the excavation site shortly. But first, let's get the fire staff disc. There are 3 locations for the disc. The first one is to the right of the church. We see the generator station 6, and on these boxes we might have the fire staff disc. The second location is if I do a 180 and I return back to the church. To the left of that fuse box we have these burning chairs, and the fire staff disc might be on the burning chairs. The third location is if we head downstairs from the church, and there's also a hole to head downstairs. Do not head down this hole if you've been hit by a zombie, as you might down. But it's safe to do so otherwise. But I'll just use the staircase. And then to the right of the tank, and between this pole, we will see the fire staff disc. So I'll just leave the zombie a little bit back. And I'll go in. And I'll get the disc. And there it is, the fire staff disc. Now, I'm just going to head through this trench. And what we need to do is we need to return to the excavation site. The game plan for the Easter egg, we're going to build and upgrade the lightning star first. So that's what we are doing. And then we will build and upgrade all the other stars, but we will never do the final step. Why? Well, we are going to do a very fun trick. I'm just using the staircase here to bring me to the excavation site. You can use the other side, it always brings you here. And I'm just going to run down these stairs. And we now need to move the panels correctly. So what I will do is we have the SDG. To the right of the SDG is the first top panel. This is already lightning, so I won't use it. But you just hold the interact button to switch the panel. Then to the left of the SDG is the second panel switch. So I'm just going to press Alt interact to move it.
I hope this works.
So I'm just going to keep on moving this until it shows the the purple for lightning. There we go. And once that's done, we're good to go. Then where the SDG is, whatever wall bar is here, black extreme might be different. To the right, we have a staircase. Let's head up the staircase, and when we drop down, this switch is for the bottom panel, which is conveniently already done. I'm going to end around here, screw that guy. Then, once this panel is done, we'll just drop down here, and to use this panel, or switch, we can jump, and then while jumping, we just hold the interact button mid-air. And I'm just going to keep on doing this, until I see everything purple. Once that is done, we will see an orb, and we'll just shoot the orb with our lightning staff. That orb will rise up, and then we can put the orb in the crazy place. Before I enter the crazy place, I want to buy Mule Kick. That's because I want to keep my pistol. But problem is, my pistol at the moment won't be able to do the final step for upgrading the lightning staff. I will need another weapon. So I'm just going to survive here for a little bit. With the lightning staff, I'm ultra safe. And what I'm going to do is I will buy Mule Kick, and then I'm going to buy another weapon. So I want to have 5,500 points for this. So I'm just going to get to work on Mule Kick. The way you buy Mule Kick is you head to the right of the STG wall buy. We head up the staircase. And then we're just going to drop down once. And then we'll drop down again. And then we can buy Mule Kick. So just buy it like this. Then the weapon, STG, we can buy later. So let's just leave the excavation site like this. There's an STG wall buy here. I'm not buying it here just to cater to Black Ops 3 viewers. Instead, I'm going to run and I'm going to leave the excavation site like this. Then I look for Pack-a-Punch and I'm going to turn to the left. I'm just going to wait a couple of seconds actually before entering the excavation site. In fact, no, I don't need to do that. I'll explain why I was thinking about doing that in a bit. But instead, I'll go to left of Pack-a-Punch. And I'll just keep on running across here. I'll just keep on running. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to head back into the lightning tunnel. So we want to return to the crazy place. The reason I was thinking of waiting is if you have too many generators switched on, what will happen is these knights that we dealt with earlier, they'll come up from the ground and they will start attacking the generators, and we want to eliminate them, otherwise they will deactivate each generator one by one. So we have the SGD wall buy. Let's buy the wall buy. And then I'm going to put the lightning. I'm just going to clear the area first so I'm safe. So I don't feel safe just yet. I'm just going to group the zombies a little bit. I put the lightning staff on its pedestal. And then once I do that, so I've done that, I just get elimination. So I am not liking this one bit, but we just need to survive here. I'm going to retreat to the ice staff area as there's a large open space plane here, and I'm just going to try and survive. If you stick to the edges where these you see these teleporters are, you won't have to deal with those randomly dropping rocks. Those rocks, they won't crush you, but they do mess up your path. So if you just stay to the edges of the crazy place, you can stay and survive. I've now got the upgraded lightning staff. Excellent. So what I need to do now is I'm going to leave through the lightning staff area. And the game plan is we will hold on to the upgraded lightning staff. We will build each staff one by one. We will upgrade them, and we will never finish the final upgrade step. And when we're ready, we will do the final upgrade step for all three staffs at the same time. That's only done if you're doing the Easter egg. As we've upgraded the lightning staff, I want you to pick up the gramophone, as we need to place the gramophone down in the upper tunnels. Now, the next staff we build. Okay. So when it is a snow round, which is round 12, very convenient. Let me cover the Panzer. Just click release the shoot button on your lightning staff to destroy this Panzer very quickly. When you upgrade your staffs, if you press and hold the shoot button and release, you have a charged attack. And while this charged attack eliminates more zombies overall, for Panzers, just click release the shoot button and spam it. It's just way better. I'll cover what this is later on. So again, you need to play dynamically. So I have an a snow round now. If I did not have a snow round, I would be working on the wind staff. But I have the snow round now, so I will get the ice staff next. So what we need to do is we dug up in generator 2 and 3 the first ice staff part. Now we're going to dig up dig sites, and we're going to go through no man's land, and then we want to just look for the second ice staff part. We could get very unlucky, and we could just not get the part. It's possible. So it is RNG, and I got the second part here. The third ice staff part is in the church in Gen 6. So I see the church here, and then I'm just looking to the right for this entrance or this stairway to generator 6, and from this point we can get the third and final ice staff part. There we go, first try. If it's not here, I will just head down, and there's another dig site here. And then on the opposite side of the tank,
Though it
there may
crawls
be
on
another
its
dig
belly
site
like a
here.
beast from the field, I am sure that
And then
death
finally,
must soon follow.
if I were to head upstairs, if I just head upstairs here, then there are some more dig sites in here, and Gen 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be in Gen 6. We do want to be here, because that's where the Ice Staff tunnel is. And we're going to head into the tunnel, and we're going to get this, and we'll build the Ice Staff. So the tunnel, you can see the church is here, and then to the right is the tunnel.
Do I stand alone
And I'll head
against
down
our
the tunnel,
oppressors?
and I'll place the gramophone. Ensure you have the ice disc, and that you picked up the gramophone earlier. If playing co-op, if one of your teammates has the gramophone, you'll need to ask them to place it down, and they might just hog it, so just keep that in mind. So I'll head into the crazy place here, and I'm going to pick up the Ice Staff charge,
Who would abandon such a thing?
and then I will just use the teleporter to leave. What I should be doing is the second I enter the crazy place, I want to activate the teleporter so I wait less amount of time. I did that earlier with the lightning staff, but with this, I didn't do it there. It's not that big of a deal though. Once I have the shards, from here on out, I'm going to pick up the gramophone. So I'll pick it up. I do remember a robot nearby. It's past us. So I'm going to return to the excavation site. As I haven't been hit by a zombie, I will walk down that hole. Do not jump down that hole, as if you jump down, you might not be getting back up. So we'll just head back to the excavation site, and then we'll build the Ice Staff. Please note, the Ice Staff is the weakest staff out of them all, unupgraded. This means we need to just play a little bit extra careful, because there might just be, when you shoot a zombie with the Ice Staff, it doesn't get eliminated immediately. It slows down, and it can still hit you. So just keep that one in mind. So I've just ran to the excavation site. We've been here a couple of times before. I'm just going to run to the bottom. You can only hold one staff at a time, unless you do a glitch. You can only hold one staff at a time. So I will build the Ice Staff. Once the Ice Staff is crafted, the Lightning Staff will be placed back in its pedestal, and we can swap staffs at any time. Let's now upgrade. So you can see, look at this Ice Staff. The zombie can still hit me, even though it's slowed down. Just keep that in mind. So we're going to get to upgrading the Ice Staff. The first step is we need to return to the crazy place. From here on out, we're going to use the lightning tunnel to return to the crazy place. So when I leave the excavation site, I'm always looking to the left of Pack-a-Punch, and then I turn left again, and I turn left, and that brings me to Gen 5. What frequently happens is I will just constantly, well, before I start recording these videos, I constantly not remember the path, and I'd end up using the church exit instead of the Gen 5. So we're going to head into the lightning tunnel, and once we are here, we can begin the Ice Staff puzzle. So what I will do is we have a Ice Staff puzzle which requires a key. The key will be on screen shortly. But first, we head to the lightning staff area. The Ice Staff puzzle is just to our left. So we'll just run to our left. And here's how it works. To the right, we have a key, and then to the left are a bunch of values. I will have on screen each key and its corresponding value. So when you see that key, you just need to shoot with your Ice Staff the right value. So in my case, this is LI, so I shoot with the Ice Staff. And then 2 dots is long L and I. And then 3 dots is II. Now be advised, the puzzle for the Ice Staff is always different, unlike the lightning staff when it's always the same. I then have this, that isn't this one. If you mess up, the stone will not turn, and you will have Samantha say start over. So it is interactive if you mess up. And then we are now almost done. The final stone, you don't even need to look at the key for, because the value will always be the same. So I have now completed the first part of the puzzle. What we are going to do is we're just going to leave through the lightning area. When you have entered the crazy place through a tunnel for the first time, even if the gramophone isn't placed down there, you can still access the teleport. So I've entered through the ice staff area in the past, and even though the gramophone isn't there, I can leave through it. However, the best place to leave is going to be through the lightning area. So I'm just looking for the lightning teleporter, and I'll just leave this way. I'm going to be very liberal with my shots. I'm not going to be, conserving my shots with the ice staff. And that's because we'll upgrade the staff very shortly. And when we upgrade it, we won't need to worry about the ammo. What I will do is I will pick up the gramophone for the lightning tunnel. And you'll understand why later. We are then going to need to leave this place. So I'm keeping my distance. If the zombies are, freezing, they can still hit me. So I'm just keeping my distance as I leave. Now we need to shoot 3 tombstones. I'm returning to the centralized MP40. We want to head to the left of the MP40. And we'll keep on running. Then we're going to take a right turn. We have Juggernaut to our left. And the opposite side, we have the tombstone. You shoot the tombstone with your staff, and then shoot it with a bullet weapon. So this won't work with a Pack-a-Punch Mauser or a ray gun or non-bullet weapon. Then we're going to run past the Juggernaut, and past the Juggernaut we have another MP40 wall by on Black Ops 2 only, and then another tombstone, which I shoot with the ice staff, and then I shoot with my bullet weapon. Then we want to head to Generator 2. So I'm just going to use this long trench here to my right to head to Generator 2. The first drop-off, so there's a drop-off here, that is for Gen 3. So what we're going to do is we'll run past that one, and then we'll turn left and head to Generator 2. Remember the tank from earlier? We just head into the tank station. We head to the other side of the tank station. And then you can see here, the tombstone is to the left. It's right where the tank would be if you had it. And then I'll shoot it. Once done, you hear that nice noise. We can use the tank station to return back to the center of the map. Or I'm just going to walk off of this dirt mound. And I'm just returning back into the workshop and back into no man's land. So I'll do that now. Once we have done this, we will then be able to do the next step. So each staff, when you upgrade it, it has 2 main steps, and then the third step is almost always the same. That is, we head into the excavation site. So I run into the excavation site, and then I'm just moving those switches until each orb shows the blue. So I'm just doing this again, doing the exact same process. I'm going to try and make it so that I'm near the end of the round, so I have 1 or 2 zombies left. And that will be beneficial, so I can just get all this progress done quickly. So I have 1 zombie remaining, that's... Oh. Couple 2 zombies remaining, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to avoid damaging them, because if you slightly damage them, and then they despawn, like, they'll like bleed out and the round will end. So I have done the panels to my left and to my immediate right. Just moving to just make sure the zombies don't hit me. And if I turn right, I then have those 2 more panels. So I'm doing this a little quicker than with the lightning staff. But if I just use the panel to move the bottom one, and I'm going to jump and hold interact. If I hear zombies next to me, I immediately drop down. Because if those zombies hit me too much, I might down. I have headphones in because I can hear the zombies, and if they sound really loud, they are basically right next to you, and if they're next to you, then you want to head off there. But 1 more should be it. There we go. Once all 4 of those panels are blue, I can shoot the orb, and it should shoot right up. Now we want to do this near the end of the round. So for me, it's the end of the round. If it's not for you, I would pick up the upgraded lightning staff at the bottom, clear out the rounds, and then once it's near the end of the rounds, you'll be able to do this step. So we're going to be a little vulnerable here. What we're going to do is we are going to place the ice staff in its pedestal, but we will not finish the upgrade step. So to do this, we'll head to left of the Pack-a-Punch. This time, we're going to turn right, and we're going to head to where Juggernaut is. The reason we do this is we are going to place the ice staff down for the final upgrade step, and at the same time, we are going to get the disc or the shard for the wind staff. And so I'm entering the wind tunnel. It's the opposite side of Juggernaut. And when I head down here, I just head to the very bottom of the tunnel. I'll just place my gramophone down like this. Then we're entering here for the first time. And it's just magic. We can just do things a lot quicker when we are going for the Easter egg only. So let's head into the teleporter. Once I'm in the teleporter, you can do this in any step you want. So we can place the ice staff down. But I'm just going to get the shard first.
Everything has value.
And then I'm going to look for the ice staff mound. And I'll just place my ice staff here. There we go. Then we will leave through the wind tunnel. And we will get the wind staff built. Hopefully, we will get the wind staff built this round. That's almost guaranteed. But we will keep the round alive. And we will have the wind staff fully upgraded this round as well. And that will be our main goal. I'm going to pick up the gramophone again. Just pick it up. I'll explain my thought process in a bit and what I was about to say. But what's important is we now head to the excavation site and build the wind staff. The reason I was, having second thoughts is that the lightning staff tunnel and the wind staff tunnel are both extremely close to the excavation site, which is where we head to build the staffs and do the final step to upgrade them. However, it is very slightly faster if your gramophone is placed in the lightning tunnel, and we are just going to be a little nerdy and we're just going to get that gramophone and put it back in the lightning tunnel. So let's get the wind staff. If the round ends and you need to. While the wind staff is actually pretty decent, just get your lightning staff, and that upgraded lightning staff is so good up until the mid to late round 20s. Now, let's get to upgrading the wind staff. Like all other staffs, there are 2 steps to get this done. The first step is we need to head back into the crazy place. I'm just, heading to the lightning staff tunnel now. And so I'm just going to run through here. A bit of feedback if you are watching this far. Just a thought. Right now, I'm going a little bit quicker than normal. I'm not fully saying go this way to head to the lightning tunnel, because I have shown it multiple times. However, when I play this map, I know from personal experience I need a lot of reinforcement to just remember the paths I'm going. So is it fine that I'm kind of just running a little quicker now to the crazy place because I've been there multiple times? Or do you still want the reinforcement? Go here, go here, go here. Please let me know in the comment section. We now need to head to the wind staff part. The wind staff key will be on screen shortly. So we see the wind staff, and then to the right here we have these 4 plates. These 4 plates must have these certain symbols that are on screen right now, and they're always the same symbols. So how I understand it is that it's feel. So this is quite annoying to do with zombies, but I'm just going to do this, and then I'm just going to do that. So I currently have FIL. Okay, I'm going to end the round. I was forced to there. So I have FIL, and then this one is an L as well. It's slightly different looking L. Once done, you will hear that noise, and then the wind discs will start spinning.
How did you know what to do?
Then what we're going to do is, once we have done this, I trust myself to use the wind staff. It's relatively strong, but it only has 3 bullets. If you don't trust yourself, you would want to head to the crazy place, excavation site even, and then you would want to get your lightning staff, clear out the rounds, and then do the second part near the end of the rounds. In my case, I'm going to leave through the lightning teleporter, and then we're going to do the second part. The second part is that we need to blow 3 balls. So if I head up here, the first ball location is going to be, so the first location is in generator 5. To the right and just kind of behind, you see, well, let me just sort up the zombies here. But around here, there will be a little ball that's on fire. And when we shoot it with our wind staff, it won't go out of fire, but we just need to shoot it. So you see Staminup to the right. I'm just running down here. I'm going to have to just group up the zombies a little bit more to do this quickly and safely. So I'm going to run, and then looking to the left, and I see the ball, and right here, I'm going to shoot it. When your character says, see what happens now, or sometimes he won't say anything, but when you shoot it, nothing will happen, but that's just how it is. The second ball location is we're going to run past the church, and we're going to the opposite side of no man's land, and we will have the generator 4 area. Why am I walking a little slowly? Shouldn't I be running there? Well, I have all of the zombies grouped up and hoarded. If I run too far away, they will despawn, and then all of the zombies will just quickly respawn in all these random places. If you have the zombies hoarded up, they are reliably behind you. They are together in a clump, and you can easily control them. So we'll run past the generator 4 sign, and the opposite side of Juggernaut, you will see this ball. Face right in front of it, and just shoot it like that. The final ball we want to shoot is in the church area. So I'm going to head to the left, and I'm going to start running towards generator 6. So we're going to head towards the generator 6 area, like this. Again, I'm going to go a little slow, just to have the zombies nice and hoarded behind me. I'm going to take a risk. I'm just going to start running. So we're going to head into generator 6 like this. And then we have 2 sides. We have a left turn like this, and then we have a right turn. I want you to do the right turn instead, and then to the right of the Semtex grenades, when we run down here, the third and final ball should show up. So the zombies might respawn, but it is what it is. We see the ball here, and we're just going to do a jump shot and shoot it. There we go. And then once you hear that noise, that means you have done all the balls successfully. What we will now do is we want to return to the excavation site. This is extremely risky to do with the middle of the rounds happening. So I'm just going to clear out the rounds a little bit here, so we have a little bit less zombies. The thing about the wind staff is we only have 3 shots, which is very scary. But I'm going to return into the excavation site, and I'm just going to group all of the I'm going to move all the switches, and they all want to be the wind switch. Heading down the excavation site, the same story applies. I go to the right of the wall by. The first top switch is already done. I then go to the left of the wall by. I move this switch here until it's yellow. I'm then going to go to the right of the SDG again, and then this switch below the staircase, it is the bottom one, so I want this to be yellow. So it'll be yellow then, and I do my jump shot, and then that means all of the cogs are now yellow, and I'll just shoot the orb. And you can only shoot the orb once all those cogs are yellow, and they will head up. Now, once that is done, we want to return to the crazy place. And I'll place my wind staff down. So I'll place it down. If it's start of the round, this is very risky to do. I only do this near the end of the round. As the gramophone was in the lining tunnel, I will leave through here and pick it up. If I picked up the Gramophone, which was not an instruction I mentioned, this really is optional. It's just how we play the map. It's just very dynamic. What we could do is enter the fire tunnel and at the same time get the shard and put the staff down. But that's fine. Let's pick up the Gramophone now and let's quickly leave this tunnel before zombies block my exit. We are now going to go return to that MP40 wall buy. And we want to head to Generator 2 and Generator 3. I will do a 180 where the MP40 is. I'm going to return back into the workshop. And we will head to Generator 2 first. Why are we heading to Generator 2? Well, if you look here, I did not turn it on. So I will turn on Generator 2 now. We're going to turn on all 6 generators. This is needed for Pack-a-Punch. And this is also needed for the fire staff, which we will be building next. So Generator 2 is now active. Once that is done, we're going to return into the workshop. And then we will, again on the ground floor, the only doors are Gen 2 and Gen 3. Let's open up into Gen 3. In the Generator 3 area, you want to look for the massive structure. So we'll look for the massive structure and we'll turn on the generator. Now we will turn on Generator 3. This will now mean that we have all generators done other than Gen 6. If the Knights robots deactivate the summary generators, you'll need to turn them back on when that becomes relevant. In the Gen 3 area, there is a 50% chance the mystery box spawns. The other spawn is in Gen 2. We won't hit the mystery box for the Easter egg. You also have the Speed Cola perk. This is not needed for the Easter egg. We also have a second zombie shield part location. It's in Gen 3. The first location is if I head towards the workshop. So you see the No Man's Land sign. If I do a 180, we have this wooden crate, this wooden cardboard crate. And to the right of it, the zombie shield part may be here, and I'll pick it up. The second part location is if I go from Generator 3 back to the spawn room. So I'm just following the single path. We have this trench that has a roof. And inside of this trench is a wheelbarrow. On this wheelbarrow, there might be the shield part location. The third part location, you have the spawn room. And this is sometimes very easy to miss if you're entering Generator 3 through spawn. But I'm just going to get the zombies back into the spawn so I can show this properly. When heading into Gen 3 through spawn, if you do a 180, we have the fire staff tunnel. Let's head down this tunnel. The third shield part location will be here. Regardless, we're going to put the Gramophone on here as we want to enter the fire tunnel and get the fire crystal. I'm going to avoid ending the rounds, so I'm not shooting the zombies. If it becomes too risky, start shooting them. If you have to shoot them, shoot them. We are then going to get the fire crystal. And then we will leave this place. So I'll just leave and access the teleporter. So we'll just patiently wait to leave. If earlier, you know, I had the Gramophone still down in Lightning Tunnel, and then I put the wind staff in earlier, what you could do is you could enter the fire tunnel, and if you still have the wind staff, you could get the crystal like I did, and then also put the wind staff in its pedestal at the same time. Let's take the Gramophone out from the fire tunnel. We won't need it there again. Let's head back to No Man's Land. So we just want to head into the No Man's Land area, just like this. And here we go, the central MP40. I have 2 parts for the fire staff I still need to get before I can actually build the staff. The second part location is you're going to look in the sky and there'll be a red plane. Just shoot the red plane. And then once it's shot down, you can see that fire orb is going to slowly go down. It's just to the left of the MP40. If I run across, and then there is this walkway between Jug on the side and the excavation site. And here is the second fire staff part. The third part location is in the church. So I'm going to return into the church itself. So I'll head back into the church. And we're going to need to open up and do the final generator 6. Once this is done, we can pack-a-punch our weapons, but also it will give us the final heart. So we'll head to generator 6. This is very risky to turn on the generator if it's the start of the round or the middle of the round. So only turn on this generator if it's near the end of the round, or you pick up that lightning staff and then just use it to help you out. Once generator 6 is on, the third fire staff part will appear in the chest, and I'll just take the reward like that. A polite reminder, the first fire staff part you get on round 8 after eliminating the Panzer. Now, we are going to return to the excavation site. So where the 5 is, I just run forwards, and then just brings me the fastest way towards the excavation site. You might be wondering why I'm doing like these turns and jumps. I said, teasing it earlier, I didn't explain what this is. This is a strafe jump. If you run in a straight line, you move 1 set speed. We are returning to the excavation site, by the way. However, if you do some sprinting and then turn and just swing your character to the left or right, when you swing and do that jump, in midair, you have higher speed value, and that allows you to move from point A to B a lot faster. Also, after jumping, if you continue to bunny hop, you can preserve your momentum. So I'll build the fire staff now. I'll go into more details in a little bit.
You're so close.
So let's get the fire staff.
My father couldn't save me.
We now want to upgrade the fire staff.
He promised
But
me
as all 6 generators are online and we have enough money, we can pack-a-punch as well. We are going to pack-a-punch our Mauser. We won't pack-a-punch the SDG.
Father said
Not
the
yet, at
staffs
least.
weren't powerful enough.
I will head up the staircase.
He said the
And
clues
once
were
I'm up
in
the
the writings
staircase
of the
here,
ancients.
I will head and start pack-a-punch. Do not spend much time here. It's very risky to stick around. Just get your pack-a-punch weapon, and I'll head to left and leave. What can happen if the zombies are here? It becomes so hard to get your pack-a-punch weapon. So I'm heading left, and then left again, and I'm just going to head back into the electric
We
tunnel.
will solve these
I'll do that now.
With or
And you
without
see I'm doing the bunny hop
Every
after
journey
that
begins
strafe
with a
jump.
single step.
The reason being, if I just
This
constantly hold
is
sprints,
step 1.
eventually I lose my sprint and just do walking. And then I have very short sprint bursts before I lose speed entirely. But if I do the sprint and then the bunny hop, those bunny hops have extra speed than the walking, and it just means you move faster. This is optional but very cool movement tech that's Black Ops 2 only. The first step to upgrade the fire staff is we're going to look for the fire area, which is to my right. And you see these 4 massive ceramic jugs. We need to eliminate zombies or over this fire pedestal. And while we do this, we are now going to do the final upgrade step for multiple staffs at the same... Oh my goodness. So, we're going to do the upgrade step for multiple staffs at the same time. So, we have put 3 staffs down. All of them need eliminations. We need eliminations to upgrade the fire staff.
So
And
many
what will
others
happen?
failed.
1 staff I put down will fully upgrade. Then the 2nd staff will fully upgrade. And then the 3rd staff will fully upgrade. You can do it all at once, which is very beneficial. I will keep this going. We hear these sirens and generator 5 is like showing red. That means the knights are slowly deactivating generator 5. I have a nuke. I will not use the nuke because the nuke eliminations oh, that's not ideal. You see the zombie blood is going to mean the zombies go away from this platform. So I've just upgraded the wind staff. The final step's done, and I'm in the middle of upgrading my fire staff on one of those steps. So, in fact, I want to use the nuke. So let me just explain my thought process. I didn't want to use the nuke because I need the zombies on this fire area, and I need to use my fire staff elims only to proceed with the upgrade and to fill the jugs. However, the nuke will eliminate those night zombies, which were deactivating my generator. So I made a decision to use the nuke, as that will eliminate those night zombies and I don't have to run towards them. They will show up another round. What you do, you just run to that generator, and then there'll be these night zombies. They stand out, you just shoot them, and the generator will reactivate. I will keep this one going. You can see the jugs when they are lit up. That means you are making progress. And what I like to do is, when it's safe to do so, I like to reload my weapon. When you heard that, you see all the jugs are firing. That means we are good to go as well. We are going to leave through. Just going to try and survive here. We're going to leave
The gift of ammunition has been bestowed upon us.
the ice tunnel. So if you have built the ice staff, we'll use the ice teleporter. If not, you want to leave through the wind staff tunnel or the lightning staff tunnel, one of those. A reminder, the gramophone is not in the ice staff tunnel, it is in the electric tunnel, yet I can still activate the teleporter. So let's leave here, and we have the second parts to do. The second part of the... Oh dear, I can just about make that. The second part of the fire staff upgrade is on the second level, or just the main area of the church. We see these lit up symbols. We have 3 lit up symbols. And then on the right, there is always these 2 dots. I will put the key on screen. And the... Oh, round ended. This key represents a certain number value. So I'm looking at this. This is 5. This is 7. This is 3. So 5, 7, 3. This final number here is always the same. It's number 4. So 5, 7, 3, 4. We can do that in any order. Oh dear. I'm going to have to retreat for a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to temporarily retreat. We'll return back to the upgrade. In fact, what I will do is I'm just going to do a magical cut and return. A Panzer, I just shoot my staff a bunch. So I'll be back. Returning back, I've eliminated the Panzer. On the basement of the church, where the tank is, we then have all of these torches with numbers on them. One torch is just blood, and this is the number 4. So the blood torch is number 4. And what we need to do is, in any order, we need to quickly use our fire staff to shoot the torches and light them up. So my numbers were 5, 7, 3, 4. So I see 5, 3, and then 7, and then 4. There we go. And when you hear that noise, you're good to go. If you take too long, what you will need to do is you will just need to shoot the torches again. And just, you know, if you shoot the wrong torch, wait for it to be unlit by the fire, as that will happen, and then you'll be good to go. Once we have done the second part of the upgrade, we ideally are going to have it near the end of the round, like me. And then we're going to return to the excavation site. A tip with the Boomhilder and the Ray Gun Mark II is you can jump, and then if you time your bunny hops right while shooting backwards, you'll gain a ton of speed. So let me just do it. So that was not like the... I'll show another example of that. On PC I can do it way better. But we're going to return to the excavation site. We've done both parts of the upgrade. And then the final part, just turning the... I don't know what they're exactly called. I think they are cogs. So we use the switches to turn the cogs. Turn to the right. The top lever is already fire. I'll turn to the left. The second lever needs to be fire. So I believe it's just one more. Oh. If you mess up like me and you go past fire, you just have to turn the switches again. So you return back to the fire. There we go. Then I return to the right here. I run down. And this is the bottom switch. Set this to fire. So one more. And there we go. Once all of these are set to fire, I shoot the orb with my fire staff. While I'm technically done with the fire staff, and I would love to get my lightning staff back, we're going to hold on. Instead, we need to place the fire staff down in the crazy place. Then we're going to get the lightning staff back. And then we have some side quests before we do step 2. So, to the left of the Pack-a-Punch, we'll just go left again. And from my understanding, the Gramophone is in the lightning tunnel. And if it's not, then we'll have to run back to the right tunnel. From my understanding, it isn't lightning. I'm doing the strafe jumps and the bunny hops just to move a little bit faster. I'm going to be a little vulnerable because I'm going to have to do this quickly. Let's get the teleporter online. I'm going to be without a staff for a little bit. And look, it's very possible I might down. I'm a human being. It might happen. But I'll put the fire staff down. And my objective now is, as quickly as possible, I'm going to return to the excavation site. And then I'm going to get my upgraded lightning staff, which was always down there. The good news is I have a boom hilder. It's a mini ray gun Mark II. Basically, the ray gun Mark II shoots like a free burst, and it has more ammo. The boom hilder is a single shot, but it does effectively the same damage, and it has just a little bit less ammo. So very quickly, I'll return to the excavation site and get my Pack-a-Punch to upgraded lightning staff.
We must repel their
Technically,
attack on
the
generators.
second step of the Easter egg only begins when the final step of the fire staff is actually done. It's fully upgraded. So I'm technically not there yet. However, I have a couple of things that I need to do while the rounds are a little lower. First, we're going to build the G-Strikes. The G-Strikes are needed for the Easter egg. So let's head to the left of Pack-a-Punch. And then we're going to run forwards. And we're just going to head to the other side of Juggernaut. We need one more shield part. The first part location is to the other side of Juggernaut. And on the far side of this rectangle mound, you might see the shield part on the side. And if you do, I want you to pick it up. The second part location is we're just going to run the other side of Juggernaut. And we will have the church facing us to the left. And in this dirt mound right here, you might have the second shield part.
Even in the face of
The third part
overwhelming odds,
location
I will
is
never
we're going to
surrender.
run past the church and we're going to head towards generator 5. So I'm just going to head towards Gen 5 here. And in this dirt mound, so you have to the right the church, and also to the right behind me the Staminup. In this dirt mound, you might have the shield part right here. Once we have all three parts for the shield, we need to build it. And we also need to get to work building the G-Strikes. And the way we do this is we're going to return to the wind tunnel. This is the tunnel which is to the left of Juggernaut. Juggernaut's here. I also need to deal with these guys who have been deactivating all my generators. Very kind of them. So to the left of Juggernaut, we have the wind tunnel. And in this tunnel, we're able to craft a zombie shield. So I'll craft the shield, and then I'll get it.
Benefit from the fruits of my labor.
Now, I'm going to try and leave the round alive.
Destroys all in
I
its
think I might have failed it. It is what it is. The reason why we get the shield, it is technically not needed for the Easter egg. However, we are going to use it to get the G-Strikes nice and easy. So follow me. We're going to return back into the Gen 6 and the church area. And we're going to get to works on the G-Strikes. These will be very important. They are a necessary part of the Easter egg. We want the lightning staff out as well. You can use lightning and you can use ice staff for this. You can't use fire or wind. We will head up the stairs into the church area itself. And then to the right of the wall by, and where this fire puzzle was, we have this kind of like fountain. There's just water in this place, and you're just going to hold interact to put your stone down. If it was a lower round, we can use our melee on our upgraded staff, as it deals more damage, and that extra damage means you can just one-shot all of the zombies. However, I'm on the higher round. That means that I have to 2 knife or 2 melee with my upgraded staff, which is very tough and inconvenient to do. If on Black Ops 3, you can't do what the cheese I'm about to show you. So you basically use the 2 knife when... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thought the game crashed there. but you would use the 2-knife when you can, and then if it becomes risky, you'd have to spam your staff. The cheese we are going to do is we are going to long press to charge a lightning bolt. We will then release the bolt, and then once we release the bolt, we immediately open the shield. So like this. And then once I'm in the shield, it counts the lightning bolt. And the game is messed up. And what it's thinking is that my lightning, that I'm getting the limbs with the shields, even though I'm getting the limbs with my lightning staff. So this is a little trick that we can use. And so, you know, meleeing with the shield, very slow, the shield breaks. If I were to use the lightning staff orb, if I were to discharge an orb, it wouldn't count as eliminations. However, when you use the orb and then pull out the shield, it thinks you're doing melee limbs when you're doing staff limbs. Once zombies and their souls stop going into the stone, and when the stone looks like this, nice and clean, we're going to pick it up. We need to escort the stone to generator 2 without touching the mud. So follow my path. We're going to head down the staircase here. We will then jump to the wooden plank. We're then going to follow this path, and this mud is safe. Between this plank and the center mud, we'll jump. We'll jump between the center mud to the side again. We'll then keep on running across. Then, between the wooden plank, this side mud, this edge mud is unsafe. We'll fail the challenge. But if we sprint and jump to this middle mud mound, it's perfectly safe here. I'm then going to jump across to this wooden plank. And I'm just going to keep on following the path, keep on running on the wooden planks, and we'll return into the workshop.
Sound like an innocent when you speak with such.
From here, we're looking for Gen 2. The first gen you see is free, so just turn to the left, and then you should see the Generator 2 sign. Make sure you are following the center of the path, as you can still technically mess this up. We'll head into the tank station, and then we'll place our stone down. We will use the same trick again to cheese this challenge. So I'll just hold up some zombies, charge my lightning staff, and then use my shield. And again, the lightning bolt on its own is not meant to help with this challenge. However, when I have the shield out, it is counted. Again, you'd have to just do the slow melee if you are on Black Ops 3. So I'm going to do this again. When the G-strikes are available, you see them here. Quickly pick them up. Go out of your way to pick them up. Because what can happen is that if you don't pick them up, they will despawn. And you'll never be able to build them again. That means you have to reset your entire match. With playing co-op, you'd have to get a teammate to do it for you. So we now have the G-strikes. Excellent. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to finish the fire staff upgrade. That's just getting the limbs in the crazy place. And then once that is done, we have excellent news, because we can now fully steamroll through the Easter egg steps. So I'm going to return into the crazy place itself, and then I will just need to get a limbs with my lightning staff. The good news is that the next step of the Easter egg, you can also cheese it on the Black Ops 2 version only. I did do a legit playthrough using the legit step on another video, but when that happens, when that's relevant, I'll return to it. But right now, I'm just going to get eliminations with my lightning staff. We want the fire staff to be fully upgraded. If this insta-kill, I'll just use my bullet weapon here just to preserve ammo. There we go. And if you look at the scoreboard, you can see 3 of the staffs are red, and that fire staff is not red. Once it has that red outline, we have done. All the staffs are upgraded. So any moment now, I will get my fire staff, and there it is. It's now upgraded. Once the fire staff has upgraded, just to verify, we just need to open up the scoreboard, and once you see all the staffs are nice and red, we can now begin step 2 of the Easter egg. Step 2 is, first of all of our generators need to be online, and I let most of them go offline. In that case, I will need to run and turn them on shortly. With the magic of editing, I have activated all generators. You can see so by the bottom below my face cam. The next step, once that is done, is we have two paths. Either play legit and play very slow, or cheese this step. I'll be cheesing this step, and I will first verbally speak and show B-roll of what to do. So you would take the lightning staff, which is in my hands. You would then run to the Gen 2 and 3 area. You would enter the robot that shows there, and then there will be a new pedestal where you put the lightning staff in. You repeat this for the wind staff, which will go in the No Man's Land robot, which is Gen 4, Gen 5, that robot that crosses there. You place the wind staff in that pedestal. Then finally, you would place the ice staff in the robot that crosses Gen 6 and the church. And then once that's done, we would then get the fire staff and then do the last step. I will show the last step at the same time as cheesing, because on Black Ops 2 only, we will be able to just play with the fire staff and skip moving all these staff slowly into the robots. And that's what I'll be doing. If you want to play legit, I'll have a video in the description which, doesn't show B-roll. It actually shows me doing those steps. So in case that was a little confusing. But let's go to cheesing this next step. The way we do this, leave all your other staffs where they are. They can be here, they can be in the excavation site, it does not matter. And we are just going to want to have our fire staff in our hand. And then we're going to want to leave the crazy place. Once we leave the crazy place, we will head to the final location where a new pedestal shows, which is the excavation site. So let's just leave this place. There we go. And then I'm going to quickly make my way towards the excavation site. I will speed up my running as I have gone to the excavation site quite a lot of times already. From here, as I go to the bottom of this excavation site, we have this new pedestal. If doing the steps legit, you'd finally just place the fire staff in this pedestal, and then you'd see the cutscene play. The cutscene will play for us as we cheese this step. What we're going to do instead is follow me. And this is, not too crazy, but we're first of all going to place the fire staff in this pedestal. Once we hear the beep, we then are going to continue. So let's do it now. Fire staff in the pedestal. When I hear that beep, I then pick up the fire staff from the right hand side here. I'm then going to do this again. So second time, hear the beep, pick up the fire staff. Then I'll do this for the third time. And I'm intentionally waiting a couple of seconds for that beep. I'm not rushing, I'm waiting. I'll pick up the fire staff. And then I'm going to do this for the fourth time. And then I'm going to pick up the fire staff. And there we go, we now see this effect. You might need to do that for a fifth time as well. If you do this step legit, then once you see that blue animation that will play, all of your staffs will return into the excavation site. If we cheese the step, our staffs are back in the crazy place. So I just keep that one in mind. Regardless, we need the fire staff for the next step regardless. This next step, we're going to head to where generator 5 is. And this step may take up to 1 hour to pull off. It depends solely on RNG. I'm hopefully going to get the right robot immediately. And skip all the RNG. And let's see. No, I won't. I'm running towards the generator 5 area. So we see generator 5 right here. And at the very edge of Gen 5. So Staminup is this way. A complete 180. We have this edge. And then we see this crack in the ice. I'm using my boom hilder to outline that crack. We need to throw a G-strike in that crack. But there's a twist. We need to enter a robot. Leave a robot very quickly. And then we have 4 seconds to... on the 4th second, we'll shoot the G-strike. I will go step by step. First of all, we have a 33% chance one of the foots of the middle robot will be lit up. So, I'm just looking here. I know they aren't, so I see no light on the left foot, or the right foot even. No light on the right foot. As 6 robots will always cross, you might be waiting half an hour to an hour just to get the good RNG. While we wait, let's practice the throws. So, if I had the right foot, I would end up here. So I'd end up right here, and I'd have 4 seconds. The second I see my gun, the counter starts. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, and then on 4, where my crosshair is, around here, to the right of this box, like literally right there, I'm just going to turn around and show you again. Right this box, with this angle, I would shoot my G-Strike, and then hopefully it will land in this area. So I'll just do this one more time. I will also have a demonstration of me succeeding this on screen as well. So just this angle right here, and then that will get in, hopefully. And then if the G-Strike drops on this, or if the robot foot is active on this left side, what we would do is we'd run, and we'd run up until this part right here of the generator, and then we would just align our shot. We have a more clear view of the crack in the ice, and we would just have the crosshair around centered like this, and we should hit the shot. I will have again also the visual or the example of me succeeding it on screen as well. We now need to wait. It's a very patient waiting game. If playing co-op, your co-op teammate can just stand here, and I'll explain once I've done what the co-op player will do. But in solo, this is very tough. I already failed it earlier. Unfortunately, I'm going to try it again. If I fail it, I will show you all the backups. So let's just wait here. I like to just run across the end round. Right foot not active, or left foot not active. Right foot not active. Alright, let's now wait. Okay, the right foot. I'm just looking here. I see the LED lights. This foot, I'll be brutally honest, is harder than the left foot. Because with the left foot, you do get that direct line of sight. I'll give it a shot. I'm intentionally delaying, getting into the robot. I'm kind of like being a little late, because I just don't want that zombie to be eliminated by the robot. So here's how it works. We have a red button. There's going to be a countdown from 10 to 1. After the 1 sound plays, I'll hold the interact button. I'll have a visualizer on screen, and I'll also verbally tell you when I press the button. So here we go. At the countdown. Let's count it down. 3, 2. Now hold. So when I said now, that's when you hold. Now, when I fall down and I see my gun, I'm going to count to 4. On 4, I throw. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I chuck. And that's pretty... Oh dear, I missed the throw. Now, look, my success rate is about 25%. I've ran out G-strikes. Well, the good news is, if you look above my perks, I can get a max ammo. So, there is a possibility you will mess up and you will need to get another max ammo. In that case, the good thing about playing Origins is they offer a max ammo for free. And this will give me 2 more attempts. And if I mess up from this point onwards, I'll have to advance the rounds, which will make the other Easter egg steps harder. It is what it is. The max ammo is in the church area, and it's more specifically in Generator 6. What you will look for is you will see your character, and you will see this tree icon. Let's hold square to select this reward. I messed up a lot, but this is the max ammo. And now I have 2 more attempts with my G-strike. Now, there we go. Now let's give it a shot. This is my last try. I'm hoping for the best, mentally preparing for the worst. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I did it! Oh, my final attempt. So when you see the red G-strike and it's pulsing red like this, that means you succeeded. If you are way too late, what will happen is either you'll get that that chuckle sound you heard earlier, or you will have the G-strike down and it won't, remove the ice crack. That just means you took too long. For co-op, what you would do, one player enters the robot, and then you'd coordinate. After the player presses the red button, the other player is oven ready right here, and it's a very easy G-strike throw. While on solo, I only have one attempt, and then I have to wait for the robot to come back. On co-op, you can chuck both G-strikes, so if the first one fails, you can use the second one. A reminder, if you mess up this step and you don't have any max ammos, you must tick up the rounds until you get another max ammo, and then you can try again. The next step is we need to put the Maxis drone into that hole. However, I don't have the Maxis drone built. So let's get the Maxis drone parts. The second parts for the Maxis drone is going to be in the Gen 6 area, in the church area. So let's take a look at this. So first of all, I'm just going to run across here and let's get the Maxis drone set up. So the Maxis drone, either we have the tank here, and if I just turn around on this trench to the left or to the right of these signs right here, the Maxis drone part might be available. So I just check and I'm looking at these signs, I don't see it. If that's the case, I will do a 180. The second location is going to be on the other trench, on the other side of the tank. So we'll just go to the other side of the tank here, and then we'll look through this trench. We'll just look to left and right of these signs, and the part might be here. It might not be, but those are the two part locations. So we can see to the right of this sign, we have the Maxis drone right here.
I
the
may
next
be
part.
able to construct something useful from such pieces.
The final location for the part I just picked up is we need to head back into the church area. So head back into the church like this.
My first loyalty is with the
And then
motherland.
we're going to head
That is my
upstairs
true
to the
mission.
main church area. We will then head into the ice staff tunnel. So head into the tunnel. And inside of this tunnel, either on this side or the very ends of this tunnel, the Maxis drone part will be here. While I'm in generator 6, I'm going to get the free double tap perk. Have 4 perks right now before doing this. And then you see that rectangle like box above my perk icons. If I head into this chest and I just hold to select the rewards, this is double tap. And if I have 4 perks active, I can then use this double tap perk bottle, and now I have 5 perks total, so I don't need the golden shovel or any of that stuff. We now need to get the final Maxis drone part, so we're going to head to the excavation site. That is the place where all the staffs and the fun stuff is. So we're just going to head there right now. I will speed this up. Heading up the stairs to excavation site, we have a couple of locations to look at. The first is in this hole. So there's a hole here to the left of Pack-a-Punch. The wheel part might be there. In my case it is. I will Pack-a-Punch my SDG while I'm here as well. So I'll just pick up this part. Now, it's very risky to pick up this part. As you can see, there's a nice demonstration. I might lose my Pack-a-Punch SDG. If that's the case, I'll just have to buy another one. But thankfully I got it, and I'll pick up the first part for the Maxis drone. The second part location is if I head down into the excavation site itself. To the left or the right of this wooden table, the Maxis drone might be here. So this part might be here, the same level as the Gramophone, which we placed earlier. The third part location is if we just head further down the excavation site. I want you to turn right to where the school bar is. We'll head up the staircase. Then we will drop down. We will then turn to the right. And we'll go off this side right here. And then we'll jump off this here. And the Maxis drone might be in this box. It might be there. Once we have all 3 parts, we need to build the Maxis drone. In order to build the Maxis drone, we will just build it under the Gen 6 church area. So in this case, where Pack-a-Punch is, I will turn right and I'll head towards the church. If someone built the shield in this Gen 6 area, then you have in the workshop, Gen 2, Gen 3, then you have that middle workshop, there is a crafting bench there, and then where we built the shield, there's also a crafting bench there as well. So I'll craft the Maxis drone, and I will hold the interact button to take it. Do not press any buttons, because the thing with a Maxis drone is when you press, let's say, the downwards D-pad button, the Maxis drone will just fly up in the air, and that's not good. If you mess up like that, then you will just have to wait till the Maxis drone goes away, and you'll be able to pick it back up in the crafting bench. Before proceeding, you must have the fire staff. This makes this so much easier. If it's reasonable to do so, make sure it's near the end of the round as well. So where the, the ice crack opens with the G-strike, I'll just take my Maxis drone and pull it up. What will happen is now a ton of Panzers will spawn in. So the Maxis drone will go in there and a ton of Panzers are going to come out. So let's just head out of the Staminup area. I'm going to charge my fire staff, put one charge here. I'm going to charge a second fire staff, pull it here. There we go. I'm then going to charge again. And I'm going to charge again. And I'm just going to constantly charge my fire staff. There we go. Now, the next 7 Easter egg requires the zombie blood. However, all Panzers must be eliminated. So I'm just going to try and get all these Panzers eliminated. There we go. I've got very lucky. The next step is we need to wait for zombie blood to show. This is complete RNG when the zombie blood shows. But once you have zombie blood, either by eliminating zombies, or you can also dig it up randomly, look in the sky. We're going to shoot the red plane down. Then a zombie will randomly spawn in the map. Once the zombie spawns, it can only be seen by zombie blood. I'm going to take this anti-clockwise path, going through the church. I don't know if it was that zombie, no. So a zombie is going to go anti-clockwise. Oh dear. Okay, I failed the mission. So, a zombie is invisible, but it's only visible if you have zombie blood active. It does an anti-clockwise loop around the rectangle area. So it does that anti-clockwise loop, and you need to find the zombie and eliminate it. You can normally track the zombie as it falls down to see its exact location. Unfortunately, I was unable to do so. In my case, I would then need to get a new zombie blood, and that zombie just does that same anti-clockwise path, which is great. So I'm just going to continue doing that anti-clockwise path. I want to stay in the no man's land area. So I want to stay in the no man's land area so that I can catch that zombie. If I'm in Gen 2 or 3 and I get the zombie blood, well, then I'm going to be a bit of trouble. But I can venture out slightly, so I can maybe go here, check this dig site. Okay, not getting it. Maybe this dig site, no dig site. But if I just go too far away, then if I get the zombie blood, there's not much I'm going to be able to do. I will search a little bit longer, but if I don't get a zombie blood from a dig site, that means that I will have to just keep on advancing the rounds until I get another zombie blood, and then I can try again. Alright, I have another zombie blood. Let's try again. So I'm running in this anti-clockwise direction, and I'm hoping to see the zombie. So the zombie is going to be running anti-clockwise. There it is. That's the zombie right there. And when you eliminate the zombie, we can then pick up the Maxis drone. So there we go. We have picked up the Maxis drone again. That zombie has stolen it. In future, we will be able to get the Maxis drone back from where we first crafted it, which is very good. The next step, and if you're waiting for the zombie blood for a long time, you could do this step right now, is that we need to fill up 4 soul boxes. So we just eliminate a bunch of zombies. The first soul box is going to be in the church area. So the other side of the church, we have a soul box right here. We just need to get a bunch of eliminations, and then the soul box will be filled up. You can do this at any time. The reason why we're doing it now is, let's say, and I was about to do this, if it takes a really long time to get that zombie blood back, you could just do this step while you're waiting for that drop. So I'm just going to continue this going here. This is the first soul box. You don't want to use a nuke. Just use, a staff, all your weapons. Just use a weapon here. I really don't like using the STG. I feel very unsafe with it. The thing about this box is, if a robot is coming, if the robot steps in this area, the amount of limbs you got will be reset. and the box will have to get even more elimination. So if a robot is coming, you need to be very quick to get this box filled up. The good news is, as we are on these slightly higher rounds, it should be nice and quick. So there is the first box, it is done. The second box location, is we are going to leave the church area and we're going to turn right. So we'll turn right and we're just going to head to the other side of Juggernaut. So let's head to the other side of Jug. So we see Jug. And then on the other side here is another chest that we need to fill up. Unfortunately, robots are coming. In this case, if I know I'm not going to be able to pull this off, there's a robot on its way. I'm just going to group up the zombies in this middle area. I'll group up the zombies in the center area. I'll make sure the robots don't destroy my zombies. And then I have a nice horde grouped up. And when it's go time, when the robots pass, I can then just step down. So let's now do this second soul box here. So I'll just do this. There we go. That should help with my progress. And this should be done very quickly. So any moment now. And I'm just always very paranoid and worried that about my stuff I might down. So that's why I'm just doing like this. However, do have insta-kill. And there we go, the second box is now done. The third soul box is we're going to run to the right of Juggernaut. We're then going to run to the right of the generator 4 sign. And then the next soul box is, you have the excavation site in front of me, and the other side is that center MP40 wall buy. So I'm just going to stand here, and I'll start getting eliminations. I've also mentally tracked how many times I need to switch my weapon to get to the fire star, and the reason why is, okay, well, round's ended there. But if I Mule kick and I tap next weapon, it takes me to the boom hilder. But I'm thinking, if I'm in a high pressure situation, then I want to go straight to the fire staff to defend me. So I just remember that I need to tap triangle twice. I actually need to first deal with this, and then we'll return to the soul boxes. If you eliminate these zombies with an upgraded staff, you won't actually get a max ammo drop from these individuals. So that's why I just use my boom hilder there. There is a trick where if you have the ice or lightning staff, you can use your staff attack and then whip out the shield or the claymores, and you get the max ammo. But I have the boom hilder, so I don't need to do that. That's for ultra high rounds, which we actually are not doing. I'm just going to continue this going with my staff, with max ammo. This should be nice and simple to get done, and with the blessing of drops as well. There is one more soul box after this. I'll use my G strikes as well. And there we go, the box is done. The next box is I will just head to the right. We're just going to head to that MP40 wall by here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just turn, and we have the Staminup. And on the right side, so we're looking to the right. And this is just to the right of the Staminup perk itself. This is where the final chest is. And this is mandatory for the 1-inch punch. We will need to upgrade the 1-inch punch for the Easter egg right after this. And the chest is done. Excellent. And the robot is coming, so very good timing there. We just need to survive a little bit here while the robot does its thing. This is looking very dodgy. I don't trust those zombies on the floor because they can block your path and eliminate you, so I'll just eliminate them. Now, once you've filled up all boxes, you will see above my perks, I have this long kind of like chest icon. It has 4 circles around it, and that means we can redeem our reward. To do this, we want to head to generator 6. The generator 6 must be active in order for the box to function. From this point onwards, we can allow the generators to deactivate if that happens. So we're just going to head to generator 6, and the reward is this middle one. So I'll select the reward. I want to put a upgraded staff attack down behind me, and then I'll pick up the 1-inch punch. The reason I do that is because the 1-inch punch has a nice animation that can help you down. We'll just keep this one going here. Now, we need to head to the excavation site. Why I love the fire staff is, unlike the ice staff, if I'm in a corner like that, I can just do a little charge with my fire staff, and I'll be able to recover myself. Well, the ice staff, a lot of people say it's praise how good it is, and it's the best for high rounds, but because it takes a couple of seconds for the actual blizzard to take effect, that's why I don't like running it, especially for the Easter egg. The thing with the lightning staff is while it is incredible in the early game, rounds in the mid to late 20s, it won't one-shot anymore, even with the charged attack. I'm returning to the excavation site, and we are now going to do the next step. This next step is as follows. I will need to show it. Zombies are going to start spawning with white glowing stuff in their arms. We need to 1-inch punch them to remove their glow, and then we need to eliminate them. You must 1-inch punch the white glowing arms, but eliminating those same zombies you can do any way you want. So here we go. Here are the zombies with the white mist. I've 1-inch punched them to remove their mist, and then I can 1-inch punch to eliminate them, but my 1-inch punch is kind of useless. So I'm just gonna use my fire staff to eliminate them after I 1-inch punch them. If for whatever reason, you use your fire staff to, fully eliminate the zombies, even if they have that white mist on it, don't worry about it. That's perfectly fine, and that will happen. I'm now going to play a little slower, because I know a Panzer's coming, and I'll just put my fire staff magic down there. I have a zombie blood, which will now help me out so much. So, with the zombie blood, I can just go in, and just melee all these zombies without any consequences. Just keep this one going. Just continue the melee. There we go. One insta-kill. That's going to help me out even more. So I got very lucky with these drops, I'll be brutally honest. We need to get around 20 or so eliminations with the 20 mist removals. And with the insta kill, I can just go in and just eliminate them with one shot, which is going to help me out so much. Regardless of what happens, I have done this step, with the fire staff and 1-inch punch combo. So I need to use my fire staff here to defend myself. And it's just a little bit too risky to go in and 1-inch punch. So I'm just holding out. It's fine if we keep on advancing the rounds. We've got to do what we got to do here. So the next round will show up very soon. And after this step, we are nearly there. However, the final step is we move all the staffs into the crazy place. We just need to move the lightning staff and the fire staff. Okay, don't like that. Just trying to. I'm just putting the fire staff in the back of the map, and I'm trying to walk a little bit forwards. There we go. You see that little? Let me just put a G-strike down. You see this tablet or rock? When you pick this up, you have this animation play, and then we have the upgraded 1-inch punch. So, technically, I could fully get away. I'm now going to actually leave this place. I could technically just get away with putting my staffs in the crazy place and then, getting 100 limbs. However, I'm going to try and get the ray gun out of the mystery box. The reason why is these 100 limbs cannot be done with the staffs. All staffs are going to have to be placed down. I have done this Easter egg multiple times. I just don't trust myself. So what I will do is I'm just going to head to the mystery box. You can just look where the light is and just run to the light. When hitting the mystery box, the first location is in either Gen 2 or 3. And after it moves, just look for the blue light. Just follow that light and that will be where it is. You also need to make sure the generator you're in has power as well. But after the 4th mystery box hit, the box might move. And if that does happen, then you will get fire cell drops. But for the Easter egg, that does not matter. It really won't be a big deal. I'm just leaving the ends of the rounds here, having it all grouped up, and then we'll be good to go. Another thing that might happen is you may get the monkey bombs from the mystery box. So they look like symbol monkeys. If you get those, oh, I'm gonna break my own advice. I'm picking up the Mark II.
Perhaps
I gotta pick it
even
up.
more powerful weapon.
If you have the Mark II in your hands, the Mark I will not be in the box. It may show a preview of it, but the final weapon you can actually collect will never be the ray gun. I'll keep the Mark II, so that's fine. We are now ready to rumble. So I have, I'm just gonna pack a punch my Mark II. The box didn't even move, so I will have good luck with the max ammo. Let's head towards getting the crazy place done. So I'm going to run to the crazy place. The last location I put the Gramophone in was the Generator 5 Lightning Tunnel. You just have 2 stars to put down. If you play legit, you'd have to put down all 4 stars. But yeah, it is what it is. So I'll just put down the 5 star first, and I'll have to return to the crazy place, or the excavation site, and put down the lightning star. A thing to note with this, when I'm doing this, you have to get 100 eliminations in this area. However, if you get overwhelmed, you're struggling, you can leave at any time, and the number of limbs you get will not reset. Sometimes you hear Samantha laughing at you, with like a teddy bear laugh sounds. That is not the elimination counter resetting. It's just the game laughing at you if you leave. But the elims won't reset. And again, I have done this Easter egg 3 times. So you just have to trust me on that. I will pack a punch my ray gun Mark II. I would pack a punch, you know, the ray gun if it's the Mark I as well. I will get it upgraded. And then we are going to go and rumble.
Make good use of this
Let's head to the bottom of the excavation site. Then we'll get the Maxis drone. And then we'll be in the crazy place. And hopefully I won't down. With full transparency, I have had to, in every playthrough I've done, every Easter egg successful attempt, either I've had to emergency leave the crazy place and then regroup, or I flat out downed and recovered from it. So don't feel ashamed if you're down or whatever. Just put a G-strike, you know, leave the teleporter, get jugged, and carry on. Our Maxis drone was put in the church area. I'm just going to slowly wait for this robot to pass, just so it doesn't crush my zombies. If the robot crushes your zombies, then that will count as an elimination. And in my case, that will just start the next round. Ideally, I'm going to have, you know, the next round start while I'm in the crazy place, and it's just a little bit safer. So let's just head in here, and there is my Maxis drone. So I do need to pick it back up, and then we will go to the one-way stop into the crazy place and get the eliminations. And I'll show you a nice tip to do that. Here we go. Once I place down the lightning staff, we are now going to have to get 100 elims. And the souls, when we get the eliminations, are going to go up to this center area. I did not get my zombie shield back. If you wanted to, you can. I'm personally just going to not do it, take the risk. I feel pretty safe, but things might go bad. The strategy I will use is I'm going to run across to the ice staff area. So I'm going to head to the ice staff area. And the reason why is that this is just the most open space. It's not a lot of space, but it is the most open space to play with. I do not want to be in the center of the map, because if I'm in the center of the map, I just have these rocks coming up and down on me. When training in this area, we have 2 escape paths, to the left, to the right. We're going to do circles. We have to watch these zombies that come up here. I'm just going to try and eliminate them on sight. The generators can go offline. We don't need those online anymore. So I'm just going to keep this one going here. Got an insta-kill. It's very nice. The thing about insta-kill is that with the ray gun Mark 1, it's very nice. With Mark 2, it's not. So I'm just going to use the boom hilda. And it's 100 eliminations. This does take a while. Remember to check your rear ends constantly, because you know zombies are going to be coming behind you, as well as in front of you. I'm very lucky with this insta-kill, but the insta-kill's running out. I'm going to put down my first G-strike. This is just to attract the zombies. The thing about the G-strike is, now I'm going to switch to my ray gun, now the boom is a little weaker. The thing about the G-strike is that it will not actually, like, the airstrike is not going to come down. So I'm just going to, I couldn't stay in that circle any longer, so I'm just going to make my way to the wind tunnel. I'm going to try avoid eliminating any zombies here. And I'm just going to try and group them up. I can't exit that way. So I'll just keep on running across the sides here. I'm playing ultra slow. My objective is I want to get back to the ice staff area. And again, playing slower is just way better than playing risky. So I'm going to slowly get the Horde back into the ice staff place. And remember, stay on the sides. If you are in the middle, some rocks might fall down and completely screw you over. So I'm near the ice area now. I now eliminate all the zombies here. We have a nuke. The nuke, I think, counts. Well, we'll see. From my understanding, it does. So let's just see here. I just watch this zombie. I think it does. I think it does. I mean, I actually couldn't tell. Regardless, I got the nuke. Is what it is. I'm just going to do semicircles around this ice area. And if I see a zombie spawning, I might try and shoot it, like on the sides. I'm not seeing that though. This looks like it's near the end of the round. So there we go. End of the round. Let's keep this one going. We are now in the round 30 territory. You could have the SDG Pack-a-Punched if you're in the early 20s, because there's an SDG wall by here. I decided not to do that. I'm going to use my boom hilt at the start of the round. I'm going to shoot the zombies that come spawning in. I'm going to do this for a bit longer. Now I'm going to take out my Mark II for safety. And I'm just having to survive here. And the way you play, just play by ear. I look behind me. I could not retreat behind. So now I'm just running across this side. And I'm going to do some eliminations. And there it is. Once you see that white mist, we're not over just yet. What we will need to do is we will need to... You don't need zombie blood. I'm just going to use zombie blood for this. But what we can do is we can now take our Maxis drone and just pull it in the center of the map. So just put the Maxis drone in the center of the map. And then what will happen? The Maxis drone will go upwards into the void here. There we go. And then once that is done, we have the teleporter. What I want you to do is just hold to access the teleporter. Now real quick, YouTube don't promote my videos like they used to. So if you have found this video useful, it really would mean the world to me if you hit the like button down below and just left a comment saying, hey, I found this video useful, thank you. Have a nice rest of your day. Bye bye.